It's 6 a.m. Hello, good morning, and welcome to the news on 3FM 92.7. We're coming to you live from our studios here at number 35 John Hammond Street in Accra. We're live also on all our social media platforms at 3FM 927, also on 3news.com. My name is Noble Crosby Annan. Coming up this morning, state attorneys begin extradition process to get former Maslock CEO arrested after a court judgment against her.
You've started the process, and with this judgment, that's going to speed up the process. And you know, Ghana, we have various laws. You can just stay away, but so far as you have laws relating to it, you can extradite it from one country to Ghana.
Also in the bulletin, some oil marketing companies increase fuel prices after government restored price stabilization levy.
Still being an oil or fuel importing country, we must and we are compelled to bear with international dynamics. It means if international prices go up, it's going to impact on domestic market.
We'll get more in the bulletin. And legal practitioner faults Public Utilities Regulatory Commission after sanctions against ECG Board of Directors.
Yes, the PURC has the mandate to regulate the public utilities. It has the right to sanction ECG as it has done, but I don't believe that it should have gone to the directors personally.
We have details of these stories and a lot more coming to you shortly if you stay with us. Let's now settle for the details of the stories. The state has set in motion processes to have former Maslock CEO Sedinam Tamaklo Ationu extradited to face the full rigors of the law. This comes in the wake of an Accra High Court conviction and sentencing her to spend 10 years in jail for causing financial loss to the state, despite a failure to show up in court for more than 2 years. My colleague Lord Edwasari has more in this report.
The case, which has been spanning for the past 5 years, saw the first accused, Sedina Tamaklo Ationu, abscond after obtaining permission from the court for a medical check on multiple sclerosis in the United States. The trial proceeded in her absence, with the court coming to the conclusion that she had caused financial loss to the state to the tune of 90 million Ghana cedis. She was therefore handed a 10-year jail term and slapped with various fines which must be paid, or an additional 5 years will be imposed. Head of operations of Maslock, Daniel Axim, who was standing trial alongside the Maslock boss, was slapped with a 5-year jail term. The duo were charged with 78 counts of conspiracy to stealing, causing financial loss to the state, causing loss to public property, improper payment of public funds, and unauthorized commitment. In her judgment, Justice Ifya Sewa Asare-Butchie condemned the prosecution for not utilizing international security agencies to bring the absconded Sedina Tamaklo Ationu back into the jurisdiction. She also criticized civil servants with high qualifications who failed to assess themselves and simply did the biddings of politicians. Reacting to the judgment, Deputy Attorney General Alfred Chiayabwa indicated that the Maslock CEO will be extradited.
You've started the process, and with this judgment, that's going to speed up the process. And you know, Ghana, we have various laws. You can just stay away. But so far as you have laws relating to it, you can extradite it from one country to Ghana. If there's a judgment against like this one, rest assured that should be brought down and face justice. When it comes to extradition, sometimes you start and you have some kind of problems, blocks. The person may choose to appeal a manner of things, but this is the situation where we have final judgment. As long as if you are being brought here to be tried, or you can raise all the defense out there.
The prosecution have further been directed to seize the assets of the convicts, especially the former Maslock CEO, as part of measures to recoup the funds.
And that was by my colleague Lord Edwasari. Meanwhile, legal practitioner Christian Malmhesi says, in respect of the individuals who stood as sureties for the former CEO, they must be ready to face the law as well.
Standing as surety is not a criminal matter. It is a contractual arrangement. So at the end of the day, just as I explained to him, if you enter into a surety bond, then you must be ready to pay should the person breach it, should you fail to produce the person. So that is what they are currently about faces because they knew what they were entering into. If they had legal advice and indeed they decided to stand as sureties for them, then we call it the eggshell rule. You take it as you find it.
To some other stories this morning, private legal practitioner and energy analyst Richmond Roxing has condemned the action of the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission after the Commission slapped a 5.8 million Ghana cedi fine on the board of directors of the Electricity Company of Ghana for failing to notify the public about the power outages. But Roxing said once an act has been done by the company and they are liable, it is the company that pays. Take a listen.
The sanctions go to the utility body. If you look at the role of directors in companies, if you look at our Companies Act, directors owe fiduciary duties to companies. So if the company comes to a realization that a director did not act fair and that had led to a loss or any other amount, the company will take steps, or the company has the right to take steps to recover any loss that the company has incurred as a result of the action or inaction of the director. Therefore, I believe that, yes, the PURC has the mandate to regulate the public utilities. It has the right to sanction ECG as it has done. But I don't believe that it should have gone to the directors personally.
Now, energy analysts are predicting a rise in fuel prices after some oil marketing companies increase fuel prices at the pumps. Petrol is now selling at 14 cedis 91 pesos, 99 pesos, while diesel is going for 14 cedis 80 pesos. Some of the oil marketing companies have attributed the increase in the recent prices to the recent depreciation of the cedi to the dollar. Government recently reinstated the price stabilization and recovery levy on prices of petroleum products. Here's Executive Director of the Institute of Energy Security, Nana Amwesi VII.
At this moment, it's very difficult to tell if prices are going to drop. We are already moving into the summer season, and so the winter grade of gasoline in particular and other fuels are also going to give way to the summer grade, and the summer grade are quite expensive. Still being an oil or fuel importing country, we must and we are compelled to bear with international dynamics. It means if international prices go up, it's going to impact on domestic market.
That's the voice of Nana Amwesi, who is the Executive Director of the Institute of Energy Security. Still on matters relating to energy, the Public Utilities and Workers Union has condemned an action by the Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osei-Mensah and the Ashanti Regional Police Command after the police charged him for causing a public arrest over a disconnection exercise. A statement signed by the General Secretary of the Workers Union, Michael Aduma-Tanyantichi, said the manager, Michael Wiafe, disconnected power to the Kumasi Technical University for wing over 600,000 cedis of electricity consumed. The statement said when the manager refused to reconnect power to the university after a call from the regional minister, he was invited to the police station. Moving on, the Ghana Revenue Authority plans to tax foreign income of residents to maintain the country's IMF program and compensate for revenue shortfalls. This tax has not been implemented since it was introduced in 2015. There's more in this report by my colleague Duke Mentopoku.
According to the Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, foreign earned income is income received for services performed in a foreign country in a period during which the individual's tax home is in a foreign country and they meet either the required residence test or the physical presence test. GRA boss Julie Siam announced that government intends to implement this measure now, even though it has been on the books for some time.
This measure is already in the law, as Minister said, so it is not a new measure. The difference is that its implementation and application has not been implemented effectively. So in order for us to implement this measure, we have gone through with the aid and assistance of the OECD, gone through credible and sustainable processes and structures to ensure that when we implement this measure, the sustainability of this measure is going to go beyond 2024.
Tax lawyer Francis Timoreboy argues that this new tax may not suffer from the usual tax compliance
yes, the PURC has a mandate
that affects other measures.
You are in Ghana, maybe you earn other income from abroad, or you have stayed in Ghana. You may not even be a citizen. You are stayed in Ghana for 183 days. With the coming into force of the exchange of information, we can easily identify you.
That was a report by my colleague Duke Mental Pokuan in the morning news on 3FM 92.7. This morning news on our website, 3news.com. My name is Noble Crosby Annan. Business news is happening.